they bring this guy in. And I remember my last day of work, like I'm actually like working late trying to help this guy on board. It's like my last day. Like, why am I even doing this? It was pretty insane.
Well, that speaks to character, right? Because a lot of people will leave an organization, whether they want to leave or want to leave, and they'll just, okay, I'm done. I no longer care, right? So to care that much on your last day just speaks to the character. So
yeah, all right, I appreciate that. But so anyways, I made this decision, like I said, 3 months before. It was like early spring when that happened, and now it's summer, so I was waiting for my kids to get out of school, and so basically it was my last day. Nothing like crazy happened, and I just like left, and then like a week later I moved to Florida. So I've been in Florida ever since. And the crazy thing is, like, the school year ends late there and it starts early here.
Okay.
So like my kids only had like a 2-week summer break. I mean, they went from going to school year ends, then we moved to Florida. Like school year starts so early here. Maybe it was probably longer than that. Maybe it was a month. Normally like 2 months.
Sure.
But buy house sight unseen. I'm in here, and I didn't know. I mean, I knew I was going to move to Florida. I did try to take this consulting gig that I was originally starting. I wanted to do it. I wanted to see if I could do it in LA and not have to move, but it's just so expensive in LA. Like, oh my goodness. I mean, the rent is like at least three times more than what my mortgage was. Just the cost of everything. And I went from, when I moved to LA, I had I downgraded from my house that I had back in the Maryland area. It was a house on a golf course. It was pretty big, to the small 1,400 square foot apartment. And that sounds really small, but in LA, everyone thought like, oh my goodness, your apartment's like 1,400 square foot. Like, they thought it was like the biggest apartment in the world. I'm like, what? Like, this thing is so small. But the had great views. I was like, I was in Ranches Palos Verdes. I was overlooking the Pacific Ocean. You could see like whales and dolphins and all that in the water. I mean, it's pretty insane, like where we lived in LA. But when when they increased my rent, so I was there a couple of years, and then they increased my rent. Like I went to like almost over $4,000 a month which is like insane. I'm like, okay, I'm not. Like, I mean, that's probably pretty normal now. I don't know, but back then I thought that was pretty crazy, even for like Southern California. So I remember we left that apartment, and I wanted to move somewhere closer to like central LA for just reducing the commute is insane. So we moved to this apartment in like Torrance area, and the apartment, it had like a nice pool and everything, but it was just like there's that term concrete jungle. And I just felt like I was just like in prison, because the density of people is so, like, there's just people everywhere. These apartment buildings, apartment complexes, hardly ever any green space.
Yeah.
I just was not at peace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I just did not feel comfortable. I mean, I can live in any situation, but I like, we got a nice view from the office. I can see the water. I like seeing the water. I like space. I like, just not feeling so like claustrophobic. So I was just like telling myself, like, why try to build a future here in LA where it costs 10 to 20 times more? Like, I was just talking about rent, but like buying a house legit, like where I wanted to live, a small little house costs at least $3 million.
Sure.
And I'm used to buying houses $300,000 to $500,000 max, like 10 years ago. So I just like, how does anybody get ahead?
Right.
Like, you had to at least have like been established here, a family here. So I just didn't really see that, for short-term plans for me to kind of get ahead. And so I knew going out on my own, quitting my job, becoming this corporate dropout with like no guaranteed income at all. I'm like, I got to reduce costs.
Right.
So Florida was on the map. Just because my mom moved here a long time ago when I was in college, and so I was familiar with Jacksonville. I'm like, man, Jacksonville's so cheap. This is like 2015. It was starting to go up in price a little bit, but like nothing crazy yet. I can buy a house for that. like, I kind of wish I would have bought a bigger house. Like, could have paid a little bit more. Could probably got something, at the beach. But yeah, I bought in St. Johns County, great school district, really, nice house. Don't get me wrong. Though I loved that house. We lived there for like 10 years until recently, and just kind of ventured out into building this, this consulting company. And so I created DeVore Capital Contracting Consulting, which is still up and running today. But what it was back then is not what it is today.
Right.